What about the power, the punching power at
No,
170?
he's not like some guy who have like crazy power, and he not so big in this division. You know? For example, Bilal, he have like power. Kamaru Usman, this guy has like good power, but I don't think Jack have some more than me. You know?
Islam Makhachev didn't hold back when talking about Jack Della Maddalena's wrestling.
His wrestling not so good, but he good in the ground. He know how to defend, how to escape, how to get up. You know, he have good skills in the ground also, but I saw his wrestling just not good, but he know how to defend, you know.
The former lightweight champion who's set to face Maddalena for the welterweight title at UFC 322 in Madison Square Garden on November 15th, admitted that while the Australian has sharp hands and dangerous boxing, his wrestling still has room to grow. But what caught Makhachev's attention wasn't just Jack's weaknesses, it was how he handled them. He noticed that even when Maddalena got taken down, he stayed calm, didn't panic, and always found a way to survive. In Makhachev's eyes, that composure could make the fight more interesting than people expect.
What about his wrestling isn't good? What is he doing wrong?
I saw his defense, you know, a lot of guys take him down. Like I think all his opponents in UFC take him down, but he feel good in the ground. When somebody take him down, he not panic, like try to do some mistake, and he know how to defend.
After dominating the lightweight division with 4 title defenses, the most in its history, Makhachev decided it was time to chase new challenges. Moving up to welterweight wasn't just about collecting another belt, it was about proving that he could hang with bigger fighters without losing his edge. But to do that, he had to change everything about how he trained. This new camp, he admitted, was one of the toughest of his career. He had to bulk up, add new sparring partners who were significantly larger, and adjust his entire strength and conditioning routine.
6th title fight in a row, but your first time going in as a challenger in 3 years. Does it feel different? How has it felt?
This camp is really hard, you know. I gain weight and become big, you know. My sparring partners, I changed there. Some guys, they're also very big, you know. That's why it's very hard camp. We did like first camp for the lifting, you know. It's the weights which I use in the training. Everything is changing, you know. It's become very hard.
The Dagestani grappler explained that gaining weight wasn't as simple as eating more. Training twice a day while trying to build muscle was exhausting. He had to rely on supplements like creatine and protein shakes after every session just to keep up. His goal was to walk around at roughly 87 kilograms, about 192 pounds, so that he could cut down to around 83 kilograms during fight week. That, in his mind, would make the weight cut smooth and allow him to perform closer to his full potential. For years, Makhachev's career at lightweight had been a constant battle with the scale. Cutting down to 155 pounds always left him drained, and even though he still managed to win, he never felt completely recovered. Now, at welterweight, he finally feels free, able to eat properly, train with intensity, and walk into fight night without feeling depleted. He believes this will be the first time fans see him at 100%. On the other side, Jack Della Maddalena's camp isn't showing any fear. His coach Ben Vickers actually thinks the fight might be easier than Jack's first title defense against Belal Muhammad earlier this year at UFC 315. While no see Makhachev as the tougher challenge, Vickers views Belal as the more unpredictable one. In his eyes, Islam's style is more traditional, cleaner, easier to read, and less awkward than Muhammad's. Vickers acknowledged that Makhachev's move up from lightweight could go either way. Not having to cut weight might make him stronger and more energized, but carrying that extra mass could also hurt his cardio. Since Islam has never competed at welterweight before, aside from a couple of catchweight bouts earlier in his career, Vickers sees this as a huge unknown. Fighting 5 rounds at a heavier weight class for the first time and doing so against an informed champion is no small task.
He's obviously never fought at 70 before. As a competitive fighter, I don't think so. It's going to be his first time stepping up a weight class in a title fight, doing 5 rounds with the champ. You know, it's a tough ask for Islam, and I understand that his body of work and the way that he's sort of dispatched of everyone of late makes him the favourite. But I really think Jack's going to have a good time in this fight.
Interestingly, not everyone in the MMA world sees the fight the same way. Conor McGregor, never one to stay silent, reportedly told Madalena that Makhachev would be light work at welterweight. The Irishman supposedly criticized Islam's finishing ability at the higher division and urged Jack to rely on his fitness, patience, and aggression to wear Makhachev down and knock him out before the final bell.
We got some advice from Mystic Mac, Conor McGregor here. I asked him for some advice against Islam. He will be light work at this weight.
No finishing capability or positional awareness whatsoever. He is a backpack at best. Nothing to fear. Fear not. Patience, fitness, and ferocity. And he is sparked unconscious inside the 5.
Stand your base.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Fuck yeah. That's awesome, man.
That's a good response.
Others, like Merab Dvalishvili, took a more balanced approach. Known for his own relentless grappling, Merab respected Makhachev's pressure game, but also highlighted how difficult Madalena was to control. Watching Jack's fight with Belal Muhammad, he noticed how easily the Aussie popped back up after takedowns. That ability to stay composed and avoid being trapped could be the key to surviving Islam's wrestling-heavy style. Merab believed this matchup would test both fighters' gas tanks like never before.
Islam, he's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second bout. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling. He's southpaw, he don't get hits, but he takes people down and he balls people down. And also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight and Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible, it's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second bout.
Carlos Prates approached it from a more emotional angle. For him, the thing that made Madalena special wasn't his knockout power or hand speed, it was his patience. Prates felt that calmness was exactly what could throw Makhachev off his rhythm. He thought that if Jack could weather the early storm, keep his composure, and drag Islam into the championship rounds, the momentum could shift in his favor. Once fatigue set in, Madalena's steady pace might start to break down the Dagestani's control.
The main event is also in your weight class, JDM and Islam. Who do you think is going to win that?
I think the favorite is Islam. But Jackie show like he grew up a lot as a fighter. Since he stopped fight now, he was a long time without fight, almost 2 years. And he got really good skills to fight Belal Muhammad, defense takedowns. So I think he's gonna win.
You think Jack is going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think he wins a decision or do you think he stops him?
I think decision is really hard fight.
You think Islam stays at 170 or he goes back?
If he lose, I don't know. It depends how he feels during the fights. How close is gonna be the fight, you know?
Not everyone shared that optimism. Stephen Thompson, one of the most experienced strikers in the division, wasn't convinced Jack was ready for someone as complete as Islam. Thompson admired Madalena's rise but wondered if this fight might have come too soon. With other top contenders like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Gary waiting for their shots, Thompson questioned whether timing might be more important than skill in this situation.
Who do you think wins that fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena?
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was Shavkat Rakhmonov or Ian Gary or somebody that is right there who's really worked hard to get there, I'd be pretty pissed. Because, you know, this guy, JDM, just got the title, and then he's giving somebody else a shot at what I've earned the right to have, you know, which is the title shot. Like, give JDM a shot at, you know, give him one or two more guys. If he beats them, then give him somebody outside the division. But I would be kind of pissed. I would be kind of upset that they're giving this guy immediately somebody from 155 division. Now, I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev. Bigger guy. Somebody who won the title from somebody with a similar style in Belal Muhammad. I do believe Islam Makhachev striking is a lot better than Belal Muhammad's, but their pressure, their cardio, their wrestling background, fairly similar. Obviously, I think one would be better than the other, but he's faced somebody a lot exactly like him. So I think it would be a tough fight for Islam for sure.
Charles Oliveira, who knows firsthand how suffocating Makhachev's pressure can be, took a pragmatic stance. He praised Jack's calculated style and ability to break opponents down slowly without rushing for finishes. What interested Oliveira most was the endurance factor. He thought that if Jack could survive those early rounds when Islam is strongest, the fight could shift dramatically. For once, Makhachev might find himself in unfamiliar territory, a deep, drawn-out war without total control.
Quem que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o time.
Sean O'Malley viewed the matchup through a much broader lens. To him, this fight wasn't just about gold, it was about legacy. Whoever won would step into global superstardom, possibly even securing crossover fights against names like Ilia Topuria. O'Malley also pointed out that Maddalena's fights tend to be unpredictable and chaotic. That kind of volatility, he believed, could shake up Islam's typically methodical approach and turn the fight into something wild.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt. Who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Alexander Volkanovski, who knows Makhachev better than most after sharing the octagon with him twice, offered one of the more analytical takes. He believed Maddalena had the perfect temperament to deal with Islam's grinding pressure. Volkanovski had seen how Jack stayed composed under Bilal Muhammad's relentless pace, stuffing takedowns and keeping the fight where he wanted it. What impressed him most was Maddalena's ability to make small adjustments mid-fight. Volkanovski thought that adaptability could be the key difference between surviving and stealing the win.
JDM is getting ready for Islam Makhachev. How dangerous is he for Islam? So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. We've got Bilal, who's a wrestler. Look how we handle that. And you know he's a beast on the feet. Islam's not taking this one lightly. So him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Max Holloway took a mental approach. For him, the real battle would happen in the mind. He saw both fighters as intelligent, adaptive competitors who could read and respond to each other's strategies on the fly. To Holloway, this fight would be like a chess match. Constant adjustments, feints, and mind games. In that kind of fight, he believed that one clever adjustment in the middle rounds could flip everything upside down.
Your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight?
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know. He's number 2 pound for pound in the world. You gotta respect that, but don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and when that match happens, I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack.
Robert Whitaker didn't hesitate to back his fellow Australian. Having fought across both middleweight and welterweight himself, Whitaker understood how extra pounds could completely change the feel of a fight. He saw Jack as a rare mix of chaos and control, a fighter who thrived under pressure but never lost focus. To Whitaker, the key wasn't to out-wrestle Makhachev, but to stay unpredictable and avoid being trapped in a grappling exchange. If Jack could make Islam respect his striking early, the upset was definitely on the table.
As you can be.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. Yeah. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Meanwhile, Umar Nurmagomedov, Islam's close teammate and fellow Dagestani, dismissed the idea that the move up to welterweight would slow his friend down. He insisted that Makhachev had filled out perfectly for the division, gaining not just mass but explosiveness. Umar revealed that Islam wasn't relying on one predictable game plan, he had multiple strategies ready for whatever version of Maddalena showed up that night.
he have, he don't have some just one plan for fight, and he have plan A, B, C, and like all alphabet, D, E, A, everything, like if something not he couldn't do, he gonna try other one not good, he have next plan, and he's amazing fighter, and he's amazing friend, brother, and I think he will take this belt. I think he deserves.
Yeah. When I talked to him right after he vacated the lightweight title, he said he was having a bit of a hard time like adding on the muscle and keeping it on. He said it wasn't making him feel good, but he looks very good now. Do you think he's like very built well for welterweight?
Yes, he become a bigger, now we have more power, more than ever, and I think he's ready.
Dan Hooker, one of the few fighters who has shared the cage with Makhachev, gave a grounded take. He didn't pick a winner, but admitted how massive the challenge was for both men. For Jack, it was about proving he could hang with one of the most complete fighters on the planet, and for Islam, it was about daring to be great by moving up in weight, something even Khabib Nurmagomedov never attempted. Hooker respected Makhachev's ambition, but also admired Jack's courage to defend his title against such a dangerous challenger.
Like, credit to Islam, like doing something that even Khabib didn't dare to try, which is move up a weight class. He's got his own problems. Jack Dalla's that's a big boy. I've stood next to Jack Dalla a few times, and you could chop off one of his legs and he's still not going to make lightweight. Like, he is a legitimate welterweight problem, and that obviously takes away a lot of Islam's advantages by coming in there and being a big lightweight, being a strong lightweight.
In Machado, Gary focused on the most crucial detail: takedown defense. For him, the fight's outcome depended entirely on whether Maddalena could stay upright. He viewed Jack as the faster, cleaner striker, but he knew the moment Islam got his hands locked, the fight dynamic could flip instantly. Gary believed the question wasn't just about technique, but endurance. Could Jack defend takedowns for 5 rounds without fading? He said Maddalena had improved a lot since his last fight with a grappler, but this would be the ultimate test.
The fight for me really is when Islam grabs a hold of Jack. How good has Jack improved? Because Islam is world class at that, and has been for probably his entire life because of the way he trains and where he has come from. So can Jack stop that consistently, like he did against Belal? Because he did a phenomenal job against Belal at stopping that. But can he do that against someone who's just cleaner, more technical? On the feet, I think Jack wins it cleanly. I think he'll jab, switching stances. He'll have a bit more fluidity due to the fact that Islam's not going to be changing stances so regularly. So I think Jack can do it on the feet, but the question mark is, can he stop the takedown consistently over 5 rounds?
Dan Hardy wrapped it all up with a more philosophical perspective. He was fascinated by how champions handle jumping weight classes. Dominating one division, he said, doesn't automatically translate to success in another. He wondered whether Islam's added muscle would even make him stronger or take away his trademark explosiveness. Hardy also pointed out that even if Maddalena managed to shock the world, the real challenge would be staying champion. The welterweight division is packed with killers, and defending the belt there might be even harder than winning it in the first place.
John Jones against Tom Aspinall, which is the blockbuster. I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, on any day, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev.
As UFC 322 draws near, one thing is certain: both fighters are stepping into uncharted territory. Makhachev is looking to become a 2-division champion, fueled by the chance to prove that size doesn't matter when skill and discipline meet. Maddalena, on the other hand, stands as the calm storm, patient, confident, and quietly determined to defend what he's built. Whether it ends in another Dagestani domination or a stunning Australian upset, their clash at Madison Square Garden promises to be one of the most fascinating stylistic showdowns in recent UFC history.